Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest and last session for this year's Microsoft NextGen Heroes community. Today, with the topic of Microsoft Ignite 2024, as students take on the latest innovations. So, basically, this will be a session in which we'll talk about the latest and most interesting features from Microsoft Ignite, and we'll make a short recap of everything that has been said in that amazing conference that was just a month ago. So let's get in quickly with our agenda of the day. So, firstly, for those of you who are new and are joining our community for the first time, we'll make a proper introduction of each one of us. Also, not to forget to mention our proud sponsors for this event and that enable us to do amazing stuff in the Microsoft world. So, a big thanks, firstly, to Microsoft Learn, the Microsoft MVP program, and finally, our mother community, Microsoft Zero to Hero. After the proper introduction, we'll go on with Microsoft Learn, in which we'll talk about some familiar stuff for joining different learning rooms or how you can interact and take the most benefits from Microsoft Learn. After that, we'll uncover the mysteries from Microsoft Azure and all the latest tech news from this cloud computing environment. Then we'll take a look in the amazing world of Copilot, and we will see what Microsoft has given us for this year's Microsoft Ignite and all the latest features in Copilot. And finally, we'll make a recap of Microsoft Intune and also all the latest news there. So it will be fun, and get ready to be skyrocketed with technology in this event. Okay, so before that, I would like firstly to introduce myself. So hello everyone, my name is Bojan Ivanovski. I'm a software engineering um, student, and I'm currently pursuing my degree at the University American College in Skopje, Macedonia. I'm also a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and together with Nicholas and Marco, we're trying to spread tech vibes everywhere we go. Um, our home community is Microsoft NextGen, and here we're trying to interact with a lot of students, a lot of people who want to participate in different Microsoft activities to try out the latest technologies from Microsoft, and also we're here to guide them and to give them support. Also, a few things about myself. I'm a DevOps enthusiast, and also I love cloud computing. So that's why today I will be mostly speaking about Azure and also some interesting facts about it. So, not to waste any more time on me, I would like to give my floor to my dear colleague Marco Atanasov.
Thank you, Ben. This was a wonderful intro for this event. So, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's session. My name is Marko Atanasov. I'm currently pursuing a degree in software engineering at Skopje, Macedonia. And with my experience in the IT world, I quickly found my love for DevOps and the tools that are being used in the everyday life of a DevOps engineer. I would also like to mention that I love being part of MLSA and Microsoft Zero to Hero because I have made a lot of lasting friendships and I have also improved my professional life as well. I like to keep things concise and straight to the point, so now I will let Nicholas tell you a bit more about himself. Nicholas?
Yeah, thank you, Marco. So, hello everyone. My name is Niklas Olsen. I'm 21 years old. In my daily job, I work as a consultant apprentice, and besides that, I also study data technician specializing in infrastructure. And in my free time, I use a lot of my time as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador together with Marco and Bojan. And besides that, I also use a lot of my time diving into Microsoft Intune and seeing all the new features within Intune, but also exploring Intune in general as well. So if you would like to know more about me or want to read some of my blogs, you can take a look at learnintune.net. So before we get started, we will just quickly give you guys an introduction to the Microsoft Learn community and why it's so important. So if you haven't joined our community yet, you can do that on aka.ms/join0to-hero. And as Boyan mentioned before, we are part of the Microsoft Zero to Hero community, where we are currently around 6,000 members together in the community. So it's a great chance for you to be a part of a big community, but also get a chance to engage with other experts in the area as well. So the only thing you have to do is to fill out the form, and then you will be welcomed directly into the Teams room. And apart from Microsoft Zero to Hero, there's of course other learning rooms as well. So if Zero to Hero doesn't fit your passion, you can take a look at the other learning rooms and the learning experts in the community by browsing to aka.ms/learning rooms. So in general, Microsoft Learn is a great place to start. So whether you would like just to start your certification journey, or perhaps just want to start learning about some of the Microsoft products, you can take a look at Microsoft Learn community.
Yeah, thank you guys for the wonderful introductions, and also thank you, Nicholas, for involving our community into Microsoft Learn. So let's begin with the fun stuff. Okay, so as you all know, or for all those of you who don't know, Microsoft has released a new feature or a new platform, basically, in Azure, and that is Azure AI Foundry. So this is an amazing portal, an amazing app in which all the AI tools that were previously in Microsoft Azure now are transferred to Microsoft AI Foundry. So here, as you can see on the Azure AI Foundry, you have all the tools that could be used um, for developers, for IT professionals, or even business leaders to adopt different kinds of AI technologies. Also, another interesting thing is that Azure AI Foundry also integrates various open AI services, which means that now instead of going to the Azure portal and from there to browse for the open AI services, now you have a centralized Azure AI Foundry portal in which you can set up your AI project. So it's intuitive, it's interesting. I will later on show you the platform and how it looks like. And also there is a special SDK which could be integrated in Visual Studio Code, GitHub, or Copilot, so that you can access Azure AI Foundry from there. So pretty much, I know that this is a lot of information for you to digest in once, but I encourage you to try out this new platform that was just released a month ago, and just have a feel of how the things are going around here. This is the scheme of how Azure AI Foundry works and what it has to offer to all of you. So as you can see on the left side, we can see all the Azure AI Foundry SDKs and all the compatible apps or editors that support these SDKs and from where you can use them. And also the right part is about Azure AI Foundry concretely. So as you can see, you have different types of models. So foundational models, open source models, tax models, industry models. So depends on what is your purpose and what are you trying to achieve in your AI project. Also, after that, you can see various services. So Azure OpenAI service, so the service most renowned, so the service which is most renowned for creating chatbots by using OpenAI. Azure AI Search to search through a lot of different documentation files, images. Very interesting thing. Azure AI Agent Service, I'll mention that later on, and also Azure AI Content Safety, a very important tool and also a very interesting one. So basically, I'll just jump to Azure AI Foundry platform, and this is how it looks like. Another benefit, so that I won't forget, if you're a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, you have a free Azure account in which you have $150 monthly, and that $150 you can also use them in Azure AI Foundry. So it's interesting that Azure AI Foundry also gives you tutorials and overviews and also quick starts or even steps here on how you can start this um, development here. But I encourage you to try it at your own pace, to not jump into conclusions on how this app is good or bad. So give it a try, test it. It's pretty much new and it has a lot to offer, and maybe it could be a game changer for your company or maybe your individual project. After that, I have something very interesting about the Azure AI agent service, which I mentioned before. So this is also a very interesting thing that's also a part of Azure AI Foundry. So Azure AI agent service basically helps developers to orchestrate, deploy, and scale different types of enterprise AI-powered apps in order to efficiently automate business processes. So what does this mean exactly? So we have different types of agents that are included in this platform. So maybe you could have like one writer engine, one writer agent, one agent, one updating agent, and so on. And these agents will work together, and all the tasks that you send to them will be executed independently. And after that, they'll give you an output, and that output will be given exactly to you, so that you can either give it an approve or just say, okay, I'm not satisfied, please do something more. So this is a very interesting tool, and you can also use it for if you have data for grounding, and especially including the Microsoft SharePoint or Microsoft Fabric. So it's very easily to connect this data for grounding. And finally, I would say that we are all concerned about security and how these agents will handle our data. I can assure you that Azure Agent Service has implemented the latest security features, and that it ensures data privacy and compliance. So not to take a lot of explanations in theory, let's see how this works in practice. So I have a video for you in which we can all take a look of how this Azure AI agent service really works.
We're making it easier than ever for developers to create and deploy AI agents. Azure AI Agent Service is engineered to scale your autonomous agents across all your business processes. With built-in connectivity, you have everything needed to deploy agents that can perform real work. Azure Logic Apps out-of-the-box connectors provide your agent with access to over 1,400 apps and services. If the service your agent needs isn't in Logic Apps, don't worry. Bring in an open API spec to give your agent the ability to call into any of your available APIs. And for full power, give your agent access to Azure Functions, so your agent can perform tasks powered by your own custom code. With different ways to give agents actions, your agents can do everything from sending email updates to completing troubleshooting tasks, all without human intervention. But rest assured, for consequential tasks like reimbursing payments, you can always loop in a human for final approval. But we didn't just stop with actions. Completing real work often requires context. With knowledge sources, you can provide your agents with just the right information. Public information is just a search away with Microsoft Bing. Corporate documents can be accessed from SharePoint. And your agent can make business decisions based on analytics from Microsoft Fabric. You can even bring in external data from providers. And for each of your agents, you can decide which model powers its reasoning. Whether it's GPT-4o from OpenAI, an open source model like Llama 3, or a fine-tuned model, Azure AI Foundry gives you access to the right model for each task. Agent service is secure by design. Authentication seamlessly flows from the active user all the way down to the tools an agent uses. To get started, go to the Azure AI Foundry portal for prototyping and import the Azure AI Foundry SDK into your development environment of choice, and simply start coding. So what are you waiting for? Start building agents with Azure AI Foundry today.
Okay, I think this was some really nice overview of how Azure AI Agent Service works. And I guess this blog and also this video could be helpful for all of you that want to try this tool on Azure. So please search out the net, browse documentation, look at videos, and Azure Agent Service is on your hand.
Boyan, there's
so
one question for you, I think.
yes.
So Isan is asking, is the credit
Okay.
you mentioned related to Azure AI Foundry available only for students, or is it open to all individuals?
No, it's open for all individuals. What I mentioned is that if you're, for example, a student ambassador like us and have that subscription directly from Microsoft, then you can use these features for free, basically, because you already have some Azure credits given directly from Microsoft. But if you're an individual and you don't have Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador subscription, then it's totally fine. You can just set up your credit and you're good to go. So you can just simply use Azure Agent Service or Azure AI Foundry, so whatever you like. So I just mentioned that as a part of being a Learn Student Ambassador. I think I have answered your question.
Yeah, so what Boyan is referring to is the Visual Studio subscription. So if you
Yeah,
have that one,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on. Also, if you have any questions, write them and we'll answer them as quickly as possible. Okay, so also another interesting thing, that's Azure AI Content Understanding. Also very new and I would say challenging tool, because we all know that usually the AI models till now were mostly ingesting text or audio, but images, documents, and video data were mostly in the premium models, or you would get just a few prompts in order to try these things out. But now Azure AI Content Understanding has implemented a very interesting tool in which you can not only ingest text, but also audio, images, documents, video data, so whatever you would like, in order to build advanced AI solutions. However, it's still in preview mode, so there I think they're still building some stuff. And Azure AI Content Understanding can be used in a wide range of use cases. So that could be call center analytics, marketing, content search. So pretty much a lot of use cases around the world. And I encourage you all to try this also this feature out. I have the blog about content understanding, so you can also search it. And the thing that I found interesting is that how the data is processed with the content understanding. So you can read more if you're into this stuff. But for me, it's a surprise on how this content understanding works. And now I have also a pretty cool picture that I found on the blogs. So this is basically the workflow. So we input some document, image, video, audio, text, whatever. And after that, we have a special content instruction in which we have two processes going on. We have pre-processing and enrichment. So it means, firstly, we're doing a normalization, which means that we are normalizing the formats, the resolution, so that they can be all compatible, or orientation or DSQ. And finally, and after that, we implement enrichments. So this could be speaker recognition, layout and structure, phase grouping. So depends on what you have inputted. And finally, after that, this is all it's extracted into the field extraction, in which GPT will do his optimization and will do some post processing, and finally you get those structured insights that you have prompted content understanding in the beginning. And as you can see, the consumers are different Azure resources. So it could be Azure AI search, databases, copilots, apps, Fabric. So depends on the use case that you want to achieve. So I would say that this update for Azure was enormous, and I could really congratulate Microsoft on having this giant update coming this year. And I think we were all surprised by this. I think also Nicholas and Michael will agree with me. Okay, so
Exactly,
now
Boyan.
let's go on with Copilot, and I will give the floor to Marco so that he would explain more about this topic.
Yes, thank you, Boyan. As you said, this is a huge update also for Microsoft Copilot Studio. This was announced, as we said, at Microsoft Ignite this year. So this platform is changing how we use and how we design AI agents, making them smarter, more helpful for businesses. And these advancements help organizations work faster and get more repetitive things done. So today we'll focus mostly on the expanded knowledge and the advanced tuning with third-party sources for Copilot. Then we'll talk about autonomous agents, what they are, how you can use them, and we'll talk about an agents SDK that developers like us can use and fine-tune their agents. Also, there's big news about enhanced analytics and insights and security for these for Copilot and for these Copilot agents. And also, Copilot is now multimodal. As Boyan said, it can process voice or image inputs. So moving on, Copilot is smarter and with better knowledge now. Copilot can pull information from tools you or businesses already use, like Salesforce or ServiceNow. It also gives you tools to teach it exactly what it needs to know, so it provides better answers. And most importantly, Copilot can now use AI tools from Azure so that it can complete even more advanced tasks. Maybe example use cases that imagine a customer service team getting answers directly from their database of customer records. This will be faster, more accurate, and easier to solve customer queries. Then next up, we'll talk about these Copilot autonomous agents. So basically, Copilot can now take care of tasks, full task by itself. It watches for triggers that you set up and handles the processes without asking for any help. This means that repetitive tasks you waste time on will get done in the background, giving you more time to think and do the most important stuff. I also mentioned that developers get Microsoft 365 Agents SDK, and this lets them create super customized AI tools and tailor their agents uh, to their own needs and wants. So now we'll go next for and see how Copilot has better analytics and improved security. So basically, Copilot now has reporting tools, so you can see what's going on, see what's going well, see where things could improve, and you can track how people use Copilot and how happy they are with the results. So maybe a sales team could see how customers are interacting with their system or their app, and figure out how to improve their sales pitch, which could bring enormous profits to a business. Also, there is a control panel for IT teams to manage everything Copilot does, so they can set rules about who can use what, keep their data source secure, make sure everything runs smoothly, and keep an eye on everything, and make sure it's great. So, lastly, but certainly not least important, you can now use Copilot as a voice assistant or show it images. Basically, this will help you use Copilot. Even professionals and end users like us will have a blast using this one. Also, it can process unstructured data to help you with the tasks and the repetitive things you do every day. So, so yeah, that's all the updates from Copilot this year. This is huge for everyone, for businesses, for simple users, and we will have a lot to play around this winter. Now I will let the stage to Nicholas and let him tell you about the other stuff. Nicholas.
Yeah, thanks. So Marco and Boyan has talked a little bit about Azure and Copilot. Those are two really interesting area, but in my opinion, this area is the most interesting for me, at least. So let's get started to talk about Microsoft Intune. So not that long ago, actually this month, device inventory for Windows was released and rolled out. So basically, this means that underneath each device, you can now see a lot of different information. So before you can see those information, you had to configure the properties catalog where you define which properties you would like to get from each device. So when that's done and you have configured your properties, the device checks in and then return the data that you have configured each 24 hours. And then the data is accessible from the device overview where you can see the different kind of data. It could be you want to see if TPM chip is enabled and activated as well. It could be that you would like to see the size of your disk. It could be that you might want to see the serial number of a disk. There's a lot of different possibilities here. But at Ignite, Microsoft expanded or announced that they will expand for multiple platforms, which means they will expand for macOS, iOS, and Android OS as well. So this means that hopefully soon you can start configuring device inventory for multiple platforms and not only for Windows. So this is a really nice addition, and hopefully it will give us some great benefits along the way. So that was a little bit about device inventory. So next up, we have Windows 365 Link, and Windows 365 is not directly something that has to do with Intune, but the device is something you can manage with Intune. So I thought this is a great addition to this slide as well. So basically, what Windows 365 Link is a physical cloud PC. So you might know something called a thin client, and basically Windows 365 Link is the same. So this means that it has its own operating system, and from that device you can connect directly into your Windows 365 cloud PC. As of now, you actually had your temporary hires or contractors or anyone else that uses a Windows 365 cloud PC had to use either a corporate device, but it could also be a personal device. But now you can buy a Windows 365 link, and from that they can boot directly into their cloud PC, and it works like a normal PC as well. So there isn't anything new to that. So you can also manage the Windows 365 link with Intune. So that's also a very interesting thing. And I'm really looking forward to see how the Windows 365 link can involve the cloud PC. So yeah, that was about the Windows 365 link. So on the next slide, I will take a closer look at the administrator protection. So the administrator protection is created for companies that cannot miss the administrator rights. So it's basically for users that needs to have administrator rights in their daily work always. So administrator protection provides a just-in-time elevation, and when it does get enabled, it will create a dedicated virtual account where I will use the virtual account to elevate all the processes. So this means that the processes are elevated in 2 different accounts. So basically, all the elevated processes are with the virtual account, and all the basic ones that are not required elevation are in the normal user account. So this means that it's an isolated container, I would say. And this will create some protection for your users that has to have administrator protection. And on the next slide, we will take a look at how you can configure administrator protection. So as of now, it's currently available in Windows Insider Preview, which means that you have to enroll it to Windows Insider Preview before you can make use of administrator protection. And if you have done that, you can configure the different settings from the settings catalog in Intune. And you can define 2 types of settings. So basically, to start with, you can configure the behavior. So you can define if you would like to prompt for credentials. So if the user has to approve with Windows Hello for Business credentials, like PIN code, Face ID, or other things as well. But it could also be the user only needs to be prompted for consent. So if a user is elevating, let's say, the task manager, then the user are getting prompted to say yes or no. But it could also be their prompt for credentials as well. And the other one, user account control type of admin approval, is to enable administrator protection or not. So the first one is basically how you would like your UAC prompt to behave. So that's basically it about administrator protection. So lastly, as Marco and Bojan, I also want to touch a little bit on Copilot, but in my case, I would like to touch on the Microsoft Security Copilot, because this is the one that specifically belongs in the Intune area. And in my opinion, the Copilot will help IT administrators with daily tasks, but it could also help beginners and people that are not experienced in those portals. So one of the things that it could help with is to generate a device query. So let's say I would like to get all devices with a specific vulnerability. And then I could ask Copilot to write a KQL that could give me that information. So I don't have to be experienced with KQL in order to perform that task. So it's really great for beginners, but also experienced IT administrators that just wants a second set of eyes, I would say, on something, because it can also help to decide whether to approve an elevation request inside of EPM. So let's say I would like to know the reputation details of a specific file before I accept the elevation request. So then I can ask Copilot, so Copilot, what do you know about this specific app? So, and then Copilot will return the reputation details about that specific app and let me know about the score and some of the things I have to be aware of before accepting the elevation request. So Security for Copilot is a great tool because it helps IT administrators perform their tasks. But again, it doesn't prevent you as an IT administrator to know something about the tools as well. It's a great guidance, but you are the one that has to take the decisions before implementing it. So all in all, Security for Copilot is a great tool, and I'm really happy to see all the additions to Microsoft Intune, and I really can't wait to see how it will evolve in the next years. So that was all for me. I think there is one question for me and then one for you, Bojan. But
Yeah.
so Isan is asking to go back to the administrator protection slide. So
Okay.
can you go?
Yep.
So there's 2 slides with administrator protection, but the feature is going to be an Enter ID. No, it's going to be a feature that can be activated from Microsoft Intune. Yeah, one more, one back. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this one. Um, and you can also find more information on tech community about this feature as well, where Microsoft are discussing why you should use administrator protection. It's important to note that it's not intended to use together with EPM as an example. It's intended in those use cases where the users has to have administrator rights always. And I think I've answered that one. So Boyan,
Okay. Can you just read me
yeah,
the
sure.
Uh,
question so that I won't get out
Yeah.
of the presentation? Yeah.
Oh, Marco, you can just do it.
yeah, so Karim asks, is Azure AI Foundry beginner non-technical friendly? Because you mentioned GitHub and coding.
Well, yeah, basically you can try different tutorials and also some quick starts that are available on Microsoft Azure AI Foundry. But I think you need to have at least a bit of knowledge on having on using Microsoft Visual Studio or GitHub or so on. You need to have some at least a bit of knowledge. But as I said before, there are a lot of tutorials that are available on Microsoft Azure AI Foundry, and I think the best guide in order to how to build something, you can find them there. And also, you can try out Copilot, as Marco mentioned, to help you with various tasks here, and be free to consult also some interesting Microsoft blogs and so on. Also, if you have time or you're available, you can also browse some interesting videos that are now being published for Microsoft Azure AI Foundry Studio. So the world is yours to be browsed. Yeah.
Exactly. Thanks, Juan. So, by now we are at the end of the presentations, and as we saw, these updates are huge for developers and for end users. And I can't wait to play around with everything that's new this winter. So with this event, we will wrap up 2024. And on behalf of Microsoft NextGen Heroes, I wish you happy holidays and let's get some rest because 2025 will be even busier. So we are planning a lot of big things for next year, and our next event will be on the 23rd of January, where we will announce a lot of new things that will be upcoming. Thank you for your attendance today and see you all next year. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Have a great
Bye,
Christmas
guys.
and a happy New Year.